Hey everybody, Dom Nicastro here, managing editor at CMSWire here with our latest CMSWire contributor, a new one. Am I correct in saying a new
Yes.
CMSWire contributor? Awesome. Vaishali Dialani, they call her V. What's going on?
It's been great. I'm from Dubai and I've been here all my life and I'm super excited. I've been with Converse Consulting for about 7 months now as customer experience analyst, and it's been an amazing journey so far.
Yeah, that's awesome. So CX analyst is the title. What does a CX analyst do? Is it like CX within Conobos, or is it more like external, trying to help other organizations with their CX?
It's a very interesting role because it's a combination of a business analyst, but from a CX lens. So you gather requirements as a business analyst, but do it based on customer needs and customer expectations and design journeys for them. So it's a very, very interesting role. And I do both internally and externally for Converse as well as for external clients to be able to support them in their digital transformation projects.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I think there's a need for that, V, because I think a lot of organizations make decisions for the business and forget that there's a customer at the end of it. Like, oh yeah, those guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. We should consider them as well. Um, but your debut article here is a good one. You talk about ways that CX leaders can brainstorm, collaborate, and just get better outcomes and more organizational support. So you kind of break it down into three important things that you've noticed that are important. And the first one is, conducting those interactive brainstorms. So let's talk about that one first.
I think most of the times what happens is organizations are quite siloed and they have a really siloed mentality of ways of doing things, and everyone has um different matrix and they're not aligned. That's one of the biggest problems when anyone's trying to create a connected customer journey, that everyone has different ways of doing things and not aligned. So when you're collaborating and having these collaborative working sessions on, either online, digital, or, in person, they really, really help bring connectiveness internally that reflects externally on your experiences that you're trying to offer the end users. As a part of these interactive sessions, communication is the key. And once you're aligned and you're communicative, collaborativeness and everything kind of just falls in. But as a CX leader, it kind of becomes your job to make sure you're the bridge builder.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of organizations struggle. We hear over the years with assumptions about the customer,
Mm.
right? We're just
Mhm.
talking. Like for me, for example, I've done it over the years. Oh, I know what our readers want. They want this. Well, what?
Yeah.
Why are you saying that, Dom? So is there certain tricks of the trade for them to get better customer data, like whether it's an advisory board, with those brainstorms, I'm sure have to have some kind of direct customer input, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And it all starts by being able to gather insights, right? You already have a lot of knowledge about your customers. It's being able to pull in the right amount, the right people in place, being able to interview the right people. It can also start by just taking the initiative of understanding, creating persona frameworks and understanding who your core customers are. What do your frontline workers have to say about the end users? Have you done what kind of ethnographic research have you done on your customers? Have you gone and spent time with them at their place? Have you even researched about them? There's so much that goes behind the scenes that is unimaginable. And yet, despite no matter how much you are able to succeed in creating or designing those journeys, there's always still scope of improvement because you're
Cool.
learning and segregating so many things there.
Yeah. Next thing you talk about is embracing vulnerability. That doesn't happen in the workplace. Everyone's confident and customers are confident. There's no vulnerability. What are you
Yeah.
talking about there?
I think CX, I mean, I'm not sure about the rest of them, but I feel CX leaders, whomever I've been connected to, are quite vulnerable individuals. The EQ is higher as well, which helps them understand emotions and bring emotions into workspace and into the world, into the business. So when you place vulnerability and can allow and create a safe space for others to be vulnerable internally in your organization, facilitate vulnerability, you cannot imagine the ample amount of impact those people can then make on the product or on your end users and your customer journeys, because they are ready to get that buy-in, because they understand the impact of emotions now.
Mm.
Only when you tap into your emotional state of mind as an individual and you can bring that collectively in your team, that's when you will be able to align on the emotion you want to offer to the end user and or your customers, and then start taking those steps towards it.
Can you think of like an example of that, like embracing emotions, vulnerability, like putting that into action, like a hypothetical or something you may have experienced recently? Like, what's a good example of that?
So I think one of the really good examples is, and that's personally my favorite one, is actually going and spending time with those customers, going in their workspace and seeing what they're doing, what their day-to-day routine is like. If they have an app or they want to buy a product from your website, when are they doing it? What's the time like? And what are the actions or their state of mind be before that, before that duration when they're on your website, and what is it after? What's their journey like? So being able to navigate through different touch points of their own day and how you as a company or a product fall within as a part of their day, you will see and understand the customer through a lens that you've never before.
Yeah. Kind of like walking in their shoes and
Yeah,
really letting them sit next to you and say, sign up for our newsletter. What's that like?
yeah.
You
Just
know what?
let them do what they're doing, but just observe a lot.
Yeah. And then you could take that back and be like, Gina is really frustrated at this point of the
Yes.
journey. Like she had everything set, and then this friction came in, and this is why she's frustrated.
Yeah.
And here's a way we can fix that. You know, that's great.
True.
I love that input. Like, a lot of people might say, well, it's only one customer, but you got to think that if you're face to face with someone, that they got to speak for a lot of customers, right?
Yeah. And you want
So
to be able to tap into and you see what kind of emotions you see their face, you can read their face, their body language. There's so much that goes on that is very intangible in nature, but only when you are self-aware as an individual, and especially as a facilitator, that's when you can understand what the other person's going through. That's why vulnerability is such an important role in CX.
yeah. And then your final tip in the article is about not trying to fit in, but instead figure it out. That sounds interesting. How do you quantify that? What's the goal on that one?
So I think, as CX leaders, we never born to fit in. You're figuring your path out day by day, customer by customer, and you are a connector, you are a bridge builder. So fitting in and thinking about, oh, customer experience should be a separate silo. No, it shouldn't be. You're supposed to be a mindset, you're supposed to be a culture. So you rather embrace it internally in the organization, and within every department or within every project that you're based on, while figuring out different customer profiles or personas, take your time to figure it out, experiment, explore, discover. These are my favorite words to be able to orchestrate the best kind of experiences. Because if you're playing a safe game, or you're saying let's just be safe and let's be blindsided to the limitations we have and not explore through things, you're then not going to get that wow factor for the customer. You're not going to be able to, when I use your app, I'm not just going to feel like, oh my God, how did they know I wanted this? Like that
Yeah.
feeling is just amazing.
It's I think they call them those magic moments, right? The
Yeah.
magic moments of customer experience where the wow factor comes in.
Yeah.
And finding those moments are so difficult, but it's
Yeah.
never, if you're not curious, if you're not exploring, experimenting, like you said, I don't think you'll ever find them. You could be
Correct.
safe, just keep sending out the same messages, same branding, and be safe that way. But it's exploration and all that, and even in this economy, you think that playing it safe is still not the way to go, because some executives might say differently. They might say, well, we got to be safe. We can't really take too many risks or bets. You see all the things that's happening in
Yeah.
layoffs. And so they still should be, even through this rough time, experimentation is key. Is that the message?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And I think one of our superpowers here, listen to your inner voice. We all have an inner voice that we should listen to. And we are somebody else's customers too, right?
We do. Yep. Yeah, I've learned so much from experiences myself. I've written articles on stuff that's happened to me,
Mm.
about breakdowns in digital world versus physical and all that. And
Mhm.
so, hey, listen, thanks for joining the CMSWire contributor community. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here and having this conversation with you, and cannot wait to create more and more content in the CX
Yes.
space.
Yes. Anything you're experiencing, feeling, seeing for yourself, because you're a customer too. Maybe something happened to you. Write about it. It's all good.
Absolutely.
I think your coworker there, Matthew McQueenie, did that too. He was on the Amtrak train. He had some experience issues, and he wrote about it. So,
Yeah.
all good. So, thanks for
And so did
joining
Akshay.
us. Yep. Thanks for joining us
Thank
on
you.
CMS Wire. Looking forward to many more.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right. Chat soon. Bye now.
Bye.